and welcome to the Holy Hour podcast. It's the bi-weekly All Cure podcast, and we have a very holiday-centric show for you guys. I'm Gavin, and I'm joined by Chaz and Antonio, and a very special guest, Scott Kruger. Welcome back to the show, man.
What's up, nerds? How you doing?
Hey.
What's up, fuckers?
In the house.
Yeah. Since that natural disaster kind of bumped you from the last episode there. Sorry, man.
Trust me, your health and safety is far more important.
I prayed that to happen so we could skip Scott, but you just brought it back.
You son of a bitch. All right.
Sorry, guys.
Persistent,
the Lord finally listened to you, and this is
finally
got out of it.
This prayers payoffs there, Chaz. But yeah, so we're all still here, we're all still kicking. Yeah, again, on the top, thank you to everybody that's still been checking in on us. We are doing good. We got a power back about 2-3 days after I posted that last episode, so that's good. And we're getting water. It's brown, so that'll be my old man. We can add to the list that we were talking before we started of all our health problems. I'll probably have a weird rash in about a week or so, but on top of that, we're getting there slowly but surely. And I'm actually we now that we started to get everything going, we're like, let's get out of here. So let's take a little break. And I'm down here in Florida Keys where the water seems very clean. And yeah, I've taken like 5,000 showers while I've been down here. So.
Yeah. Although if you sniff the water down there, you're probably
who knows? I don't know if I'm really safe anywhere.
You're between showers right now, actually. You just have a t-shirt
I'm
on
getting in the bathroom
and a towel
here. I
on.
might take
Yeah,
a
you're-
shower while we're talking. So
Hey,
yeah,
to each
but,
his own.
yes, but thank you to everybody out there that was checking on us. We're still hanging in there. Lots of work still to do back in Asheville. So I might not ever leave. I don't want to go home. But yeah, we got an action-packed show for you guys because it also is just our annual Halloween episode, and it also happens to be Songs of a Lost World Eve. This will be the last episode right before the big album comes out. So we got lots of updates that have happened in the last 2 weeks that we want to cover with you guys, and then we got some fun Halloween spooktacular awesomeness we want to do as we look at Cure Hell. What would hell be like if it involved the worst scenario for the Cure?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
And why do they all involve Ross Robinson?
yeah, and they all. I tried to go light on Ross. He's in there, but So should we dive into the topics? What do you guys say? Should we just start at the list and work our way down? Let's see. The biggest, probably hottest one is the Troxy tickets. They went on sale. The big non-BBC show. This is like a legit show that they're doing to launch the album on November 1st. So shortish notice, definitely by Cure standards. It'd be hard to, even if you did pull this off, to get over there and find everything you need, but many are doing it. But many aren't going because they didn't get tickets very easy. It was a pretty tough to wrangle it up. About 3,000 capacity, right, at this place, and it went fast.
Outside of the 3,000, you have to figure in all the
industry,
friends, family, and then you're probably looking at maybe 1,500 tickets.
Yeah. Or at least 2,000, yeah. So it's like, yeah. That's so small by Cure standards. Even
Well, every 1,000 cap room has another 100 room for tickets, like versus what they sell versus what they cram in.
Mm-hmm.
So, nobody sells to their capacity. Don't tell the fire marshals that.
Yeah, makes sense.
But if the cap is 3,000, they're gonna put 3,500 in.
Right.
Like that's how they jam.
My favorite comment so far on this has been, I don't understand, how can they make this more fair for those of us who couldn't get tickets? It's like,
Yeah.
Okay. And if you'd have gotten a ticket, it would have been perfectly fair for you, but not
For
other
you.
people.
Not
So,
all the people that
come on,
didn't.
man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
Come
it's
on.
good.
Yeah. The mental breakdowns on social media have just been embarrassing. It's like this isn't the world tour where you didn't get tickets for a show, and like I understand that. Like I feel bad for you, you know, and like let's figure out a way to get you tickets, you know.
Yeah.
But like this is such an intimate small show in one location, and you're offended that you didn't get tickets. Like they sold out in 2 seconds. This is such a sham.
Yeah.
Sham.
Who
And
I
I'm
think
like,
I
it's
am.
like it's like getting offended that you like didn't win the lottery. You know, like it
Yeah.
just fucking
Yes.
like it's just is what it is, man. Like
Relax.
Yeah.
you have probably like a couple 100,000 people wanting like 1,500 to 2,000 tickets,
Yeah.
and the math doesn't work out, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. And I know the coolest of cool things to have done, knowing that there was like a 99% chance you're not going, but I still had to try. We were driving to the airport, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it." Like it would have
Yeah.
been probably extra cool to not help cram the roads, kind of thing. But I was just like, "Well, you never know. Let's see what happens." You know, it at least eliminates the stress in your own brain of not being there. If you're like, "Well," and I was just curious how fast it would go, and it was legit like fucking 20 seconds. I think that thing popped to sold out. You know, I heard from people that when it went to sold out, if you checked back, you know, things were getting thrown back in and forth and stuff. So you weren't totally out of the water with that. But yeah, that thing sold out so fast, which is like crazy that anything could just be like and then sold out. I was like, shit. I'm like, cool. All right. Well, that solves that problem. I don't have to redirect the flight from Florida to London now.
I've been trying to figure out how to make enough money to take Charles up on his Chaz up on his offer to go see the show. All he needs is airfare. And I'm like, I was talking to Jules, and I'm like, you know, and she's like, had we not just gotten back from Ireland, I would have done it. And I'm like,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if my knee wasn't fucked up, I'd probably be more into the idea, because I had people offer to fly me out there.
really?
For the BBC one.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's still that catch. I wonder if that would have even worked with the residency. If you were with somebody from the UK, you could have been there +1, I guess.
From my understanding, it did.
That would have worked.
So yeah, but like I didn't get confirmation from BBC, but like from what everybody was telling me and messaging me, that it would be like, it would be as long as one of you is from the UK, you could get in. So,
Really? That's
but then
then
again, there's no guarantee that you would get in, even if you got there to get tickets.
Yeah,
like even if you got those tickets, so like you could go there, wait in line, and then they would just be like, nope, we're
Yeah,
and
that was a
just
weird
like,
line. I didn't look at it too close, but it did sound like that. So that's okay. So he was like, "I'll pay for it right now. Like, he's got to go." So I was like, "I don't think he's gonna, be 100% in if he does even." So
yeah, if it was like a guarantee that you would get in, I would be a little bit more into it and like done a little bit more research. But like, I don't want somebody to spend all that money on a plane ticket for me to get over there.
Yeah.
Then
But
you
like,
could just
again,
look
if I'm-
around the Troxy though, like wait a day.
Yeah. But then again, if my knee wasn't fucked up, I wouldn't have had to miss all this work, and I probably would have just flown out there on my own to begin with and just tried it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it is what it is. But
Well, even of all our familiar names and stuff, there really haven't been too many that I heard that are going. Dana from our Patreon is going, so that's cool. And Victor, actually, I heard from our old buddy Victor. He's going, so he was
awesome.
And I think he was one you were saying that where it didn't go in initially, and he checked back in, and it just popped up, and he didn't switch it to 2 or anything. He just went go, and was able to get there. So somehow, but it was crazy. Just seeing all those not that we know a lot of people, but a good enough familiar names at this point, where it was like, damn, we all pretty much got shut out, so. Yeah. Pretty cool. It's going to be awesome. The live stream, I think, is the big, you can't be that, riled up or personally take it personal. They saw this coming and they're like, just put a live stream up. It'll be fine, And,
so what time will that be here?
I don't know. I'm thinking
They're
9-ish, right?
Yeah, they're 8 hours ahead of California time, so
They're
you
5
guys are
hours ahead of here.
Yeah.
5 hours ahead of there. Yeah.
So I'm thinking it said 9 ish for the show, so it should be around 4 or something for us here, which would put it 1 for you, Scott, I guess.
Damn, I was hoping it was
so,
nighttime. Like,
so yeah, I think it'll be like 4 or 5 ish for us.
I'll be at work, so I'll just have YouTube go or whatever, wherever they're broadcasting.
Yeah,
I'll just be like,
I think
sorry,
they said
folks,
Cure YouTube page. I think, yeah. So.
Yeah, the BBC show was. I think they had it scheduled for just over an hour. I think.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So that was another thing. It was a very short
Little
show.
mini dude. Yeah. I wonder if this will be more of a
just
full.
The whole album. Yeah.
That's cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, but like it would be like, I would just if you go, you're just basically going for the album and that's it. So I wouldn't expect much more after that. Maybe like 3 songs.
Yeah. Boys Don't Cry or something like that.
Yeah, A Forest, Boys Don't Cry, or something else.
Yeah.
Power encore there. Yeah. So so it'll be cool to watch it and hear back from anybody about the full experience, how it unfolds. But I guess as that comes closer, we had one arrive. You guys, I guess Antonio and Scott, you got your November Eco vinyl.
That's I did.
I saw mine's waiting for us. It's on hold, so hopefully it's not getting crushed at the base of the post. So mine's somewhere. And it said I had to sign for it because it was coming from Germany or something, right? Didn't they ship it from Germany? Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, it shipped from Germany. Yeah. But mine was just sitting on my front porch. I mean, it said it was out for delivery for 5 days in a row, but it finally showed up. So
weird.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys happy? What's the verdict on that?
I've been working. I have not had a chance to pop it on yet.
Looks great.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Looks cool. Sounds good. I mean, it's nothing we, haven't heard before, but I was kind of surprised it wasn't as different as some of the good live audio we heard out there.
Oh yeah.
But I don't, it was for a good cause, and I figured it's, for how many they made, I was like, all right, I'm glad
it's
I
a
have
good
it.
collector's item.
Yeah, and I feel like it's something that's going to be a little bit harder to find in the wild later on.
Yeah.
Like the new record, you'll find out there, like used, in time, especially with how many versions of it they have. But this one you won't.
Yeah, this is it's definitely, like we said, I think in the last episode or the one before, where this the wind kind of got taken out of the sails on this by the actual album coming out. So a lot of us, I think, ordered this thinking that this was going to be the only thing we were getting ever.
This might be the last thing we ever get. No, it's like, here's a new record. And here's 25 versions.
Yeah.
Exactly. Seriously, my friend Joe, who's also a Cure fan, he's like, why did you order this when the album's coming? I'm like, okay, so here's how it went. There's a sequence of events that happened, okay?
Yeah.
Always
and there are different versions. It's not like it's like recorded singles. It's, they're live. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, and I still hope they pop up on streaming too, which we haven't seen any sign of that, because that would be cool to have them on there too, especially for the few people that are still fighting the "it sounds better live" argument. So
well, there you go. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty cool, and no shrink wrap, right? Was that part of the
No.
eco?
No plastic sleeve, none of that.
Seeing that stuff, so I guess
that's why it came in good shape too. There were no dings or dents or anything. Love the clear vinyl. It's really cool looking. But,
I did have a very slight bend in my top right corner.
Did you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was condescending sounding. Oh
No, I didn't even know. It was like it was. I love my record, so I mean,
the record itself was fine, and it wasn't like terrible, but I was like, oh, come on, like for what I spent on this, I don't want a bent sleeve.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Even more so than because a lot of them are just like whatever. It's a record, but that's like such a collectible thing now. It's like that's become such a So yeah, I could see that. I guess along the lines of the other formats, we can hop around on our timeline here. Before we get to the newest one, did you guys catch that Spotify thing? Did you partake in that? Like, I guess Spotify was selling it, but it was a special picture disc version of the album that they were, I guess, like super limited. It's just was the album cover on the record. Picture disc style. So did you guys get that one too, or did you pass on that?
I didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't because I pre-ordered the marble version, and I pre-ordered the one that comes on the double albums.
Yeah,
I don't know why, just because.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
too.
no, I don't need that. I'm fine. And then the other one came out yesterday, and I'm like, God damn it.
I feel like the picture disc I'll be able to find used later. But with plus, when the stuff's coming shipping to America from the other side of the pond, it's like,
that adds like such a huge. Which it goes into the next one. The one that just got announced was I don't know, would you call that like a hyper touch T-shirt from the '90s kind of thing? Where I guess you could
the heat touch
the album cover, and then so you
glow
can
in the
like,
dark record,
and I guess underneath it is the album cover. But if you it's all black, but you put your hand on it, and they'll leave your handprint and. It looks pretty rad. I guess
couldn't help myself.
Yeah, you guys got that one then.
I did.
I did. I was like, it's gonna be like $70 for the shipping. I was like, I just couldn't.
Yeah,
do it.
that's kind of like getting where I was tempted. It was like $50 for the record, then 20 for shipping, so 70.
Yeah.
But that's what we paid for the single too. I think by the end, I think we paid $70 for that.
You got the glow in the dark record, and then you've got the heat transfer, which reminded me of old Transformers rub. You'd put your thumb on the Transformer symbol to make it shine. So I'm like, I can't help myself. I gotta get it. Damn it. So now I've got 3 versions of this vinyl coming, not to mention the triple disc DVD CDs. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sell my
what have I done?
Exactly.
I always love too that I was like trying to become the voice of reason with it. I was like just saying to Casey, I was like, they got this new like hyper touch one. It's like $70 by the end. Can you believe it? She's like, did you order it? You got to order it. I'm like, what? What do you mean? I was like, no, I'm trying to be good here.
But now I've got permission.
I was like, could I if I wanted to? I was like, shit. That's awesome. Yes, there's a whole bunch of them out there. I guess that one sold out already. I saw something for the hyper touch one is already done. I think the Spotify one's probably maxed out by now. Stepping away from actual records, there was a quick one that passed through too. Was a new, I guess, design, but they put out the Cure Robert Smith signature guitar, the Ultra, and the Bass 6. Schecter put out a cool flower design, so it's like the same guitars but with a different design on there. I think I saw there was only 75 of them made. They sold out super fast.
Yeah, those sold out.
It looked pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't but like you don't really just buy another guitar on a whim. That's a little harder than a $70 record, even.
Yeah, for sure.
$1,500 guitar. Yeah.
I've also never liked any Schecter aside from the ones they've done for Robert and Simon.
Yeah, well, I gotta stand by that Bass 6. I got the Schecter, the gray and black one, like he is, and I do love it. I mean, I haven't really. The only other Bass 6 I've ever messed with was like a Squire one, but yeah, I love that. That's cool. Seems to be really well made. People other positive reviews for the Ultra, but I mean, that's just one of those things. If the time was right, who knows? I thought the cool detail with that was that it said that Bunny Lake designed the flower design on it. I was like, oh, shit. Still doing it. Bunny Lake. That's funny. What is this? So now I've got to update that whole episode. But, great. So what else did we get? There was a small little blurb. Did you guys catch that Simon hosting that award show thing actually happened? We reported on that
I saw
months
that.
ago.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
It was very odd. There is a clip of it. There's a clip of him talking on the radio about it. It's just like 3-minute little thing saying that it's like a local awards kind of thing. So he was just helping like MC it basically. And there is footage of the whole thing where it's just like one stationary camera and they're all just
the Dundies.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely had like that kind of vibe. And Simon just comes up and kind of looks badass and bubbles.
Chili's. Yeah.
Totally don't get how they picked him, you know, but it was just like cool. So it was good. I guess he lives close by there and, you know, is part of the community and everything. Totally something his girlfriend talked him into, I think, but it was, definitely had that vibe, you know, but yeah, the whole thing's on there. I watched about half of it. It was technically pretty boring, but cool and weird, you know, so I was like, cool. It's like, next, the award for coffee shop, best coffee shop. Like, all right. Yeah. Financial aid given to a, you know, it's just like, wow, okay, cool. So, yeah, pretty funny. And what else we got? So, yeah, we hadn't quite talked about, I guess it came out with, what Fragile Thing, I guess the single was the full Robert Smith hour and 45-minute interview. And so at that point, nobody had been able to really watch the whole thing yet. And pretty fucking amazing. I think that was just as good of a gift as the whole, you know, album or a single or something. That was so cool. And I'm going to pick it apart. I already had a bunch of drinks the other night and watched the whole thing and like wrote responses to everything he said. So I don't know when the hell that episode's going to come out, or maybe it'll be a Patreon thing or what.
Is that why you have a blur in the background, because you wrote all over the bathroom wall?
Yeah, pretty much. It's all in blood.
That's all it is. Yeah, like string everywhere and shit.
Totally. But I thought it was great because there's so many like little snippets, not even so much about what he's talking about, but little things that he kind of references from past Cure stuff that are just kind of mentioned in passing, you know, like if you're really nerding out, you're like, oh shit, that's what he means with that. And, you know, and why is he mad at that person? And then you start speculating who that person was or something, you know. And but yeah, it's a lot of talk on the new album and goes song by song and does like a cool kind of review or the sort of premise for each song even, which is always cool, even if it does kind of take some of the mystery out, you know. It's like drone, no drone. It's like, no, actually it's about a drone apparently that flew over his house. And I got really mad.
It really is just
like,
about
holy shit,
drone.
Right? Old man yells at the sky.
Yeah, so I was like, cool.
Get out of my airspace. I loved it. I watched the whole thing and Julie would walk in and say, is this thing still on? Yes, go away. I'm watching.
Yes. Our savior is speaking.
Exactly. It was so humanizing, though. I mean, because we've watched this guy on stage just performing for years, decades, right? And you put him up on this pedestal and then just to see this interview where, you know, of course, he's just a man, but he's talking about life and trying to cope with the pandemic and the fact that he had shingles on his face during the pandemic. And it's like, it just really humanized him, right? And it was him very self-deprecating and, you know, talking about, I've got all these albums on the side, but at the same time, he's like, you know, that ever sees the light of day. Yeah. He was ribbing himself, it was really, really fascinating to watch.
Yeah. Even it was like those little in-between parts where he's like moving out of camera, so they kind of stopped. So they left all the unedited stuff in there, which was great. And those were the moments where it was like kind of cool because it was not meant to be like anybody in that scenario would be like, well, they'll edit that out. But he's like making jokes about as long as you edit out my wheezing or something like that, you know, like kind of self-deprecating about being older. He's like, oh, you'll hear my bones cracking or something, you know, and that was
just
great.
Ripping farts just on accident.
That'd be great. But yeah, it seemed like while I was nerding out writing those notes the other night, the one night before I finished it, it disappeared on everything. I was like, oh shit, they took it off everything. And then literally the next day they made like kind of a sort of announcement that it's on the Cure's official YouTube page now. Because it wasn't on like that Songs of the Lost World fake website or whatever the hell it was on there before. And then
That
people
shit
had
is so annoying.
yeah, like you gotta
So
put
fucking
the,
Put the
annoying.
code in. Put the code in.
put the
Guys, come on.
every time. Who's that? But yeah, and people had been reposting. Hopefully that will happen anyway, even if they do take it off their official site. So many people have bootlegged it now and
Oh, yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
you know, there was already all kinds of chopped up versions that other people were posting and shit. So it should be out there if anybody.
I may or may not have a digital copy of it right here on my computer.
Awesome.
So yes.
I can get you a digital
Cool.
copy right now, Gavin, if you want me to.
I got you. I got you.
I used to use some program that was like a free one and you pull the link over, but then it just was so packed full of viruses and shit. I was just like, I gotta stop doing this. Something's gonna crud up my stuff, you know? And so yeah, it's
Porn
cool.
is streaming. You realize, like, you don't have to download it now, right?
No, I need to. I'm a collector.
You don't need
okay? I
to.
What about when there's a natural disaster and my Wi-Fi goes out?
Yeah, exactly.
you
I
got
want to
me,
be prepared
dude.
next time. I know.
You got me.
Yeah.
Well, there's no electricity, so what are you gonna do? You gotta go back to the magazines,
I wonder if
man.
there are porn preppers out there. Yeah, you gotta-
I'm ready.
Porn day
Got a
preppers.
very specific generator to use just
Yeah,
for that.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah,
A porn generator.
totally. Yeah, I
That's
wouldn't be
another.
surprised, but yeah. Sadly, it wasn't for porn. Porn would probably have been a lot cooler. I'm just like pulling old ass Cure videos and shit. Way dorky.
I do have one that I use for video to audio. That's like a free one that's like
Okay,
virus free.
yeah,
I'm still trying to look for one that's video to video.
yeah.
That every once in a while I'll find one, but like
Yeah,
then the
but
link goes down.
Video
They
to
disappear,
video, though,
yeah.
you
What's
can
that?
just screen record your Mac.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true.
Guess,
Very true.
But then you have to like,
Uh-huh.
sit there.
But yeah, I'm
real
just gonna want to
time.
listen to
It's like
it.
an old tape where
Yeah,
you gotta like,
yeah.
sit there in real time. Like somebody calls and a thing will pop up on the.
Yeah. Siri goes off in the middle of it.
Yeah, my screensaver comes on or some shit. But yeah,
It's 65 degrees out today. Thank you. We're like, shut up! I didn't ask you.
I got to thank Andy though. Andy Carry On. He sent that to me. So
Okay.
he did the hard
Yeah,
work. He did
he's-
the work of ripping it. He just gave it to me. So I'm like, thank you. That's
Sweet.
awesome.
Yeah, he's always on
But,
top of that. He was already saying for his listening party, and we'll get to the list of people that are doing that. I think he's saying that he's going to have a copy of the November show that's live streaming. I was like, well, if anyone's going to back it up, it'd be him. He'll have
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
So,
Yep.
very cool. Awesome. Let's see. Anything else on the updates list that I'm missing? Oh, just that kind of cool, uncool thing, I think, was that Uncut magazine. I was looking all over for it because our only like Barnes and Noble that would have something like that of the import kind of magazines is at the mall that, you know, they're using that as a whole like crisis center now. So the mall isn't open. I'm like, I need my Cure magazine. So, but I saw somebody posted the pictures online, so I did get a peek of it, just read the article online, and it's all taken from that hour and 45-minute interview. So it's kind of a bust, yeah, which is still kind of cool if somebody can't get it. You know, it might still be worth having, but it's just, you know, the person must have been in the room or had access to it and just used that as the interview in the article there. There are cool little sidebar things where it's other musicians picking their favorite Cure album and talking about why they love it and stuff. So it has like Thurston Moore, Jay Mascis, Dean from Luna, Churches, and Mogwai, Slow Dive, and the dude from
The usual
Low.
suspects.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy.
If I can get my hands on it, because my Barnes and Noble, you know, there's no natural disaster that's God, knock on wood quick before we have an earthquake.
Right, yeah.
I was like,
I
wait,
can-
jinx it.
I know, right? I can check it tomorrow. If they've got it, I'll grab some copies for you guys.
Cool.
So
Yeah, that would be cool. I'll pay you back. And
Yeah.
I think
There-
they
There was
usually-
that
Mhm.
sorry, there was that other thing that that the Cure was raising money for, where they're doing a was it that artwork that Robert Smith signed?
Oh yeah, that's right. He had the some of his artwork.
Yeah.
That was for charity, which is cool, but I wish they would do a raffle instead of an auction to like
Yeah.
let everybody get a chance to have something like that instead of the richest Cure fans that are around.
I guess they're just going for that big donation there. So, but
I think cool. You'd probably make just about as much, if not more, from everybody putting in $5 or or whatever, So I don't know. I just like that idea more. But if you're a rich Cure fan, this was a great week for you.
Right. Or at least change it up, because they've done a couple of these now, the auction thing. So that would be a cool way to do another one where it would just be like a little $5 print or something, and then everybody would buy like 20 of them. And
I did post that on their Instagram, and I think Roger liked it.
Okay.
So one of the band members liked it. I think Roger liked it because
well, that's
awesome.
There you go. You're breaking through. They're gonna listen.
Listen to me.
God damn it, that guy from the podcast.
Did you guys get the 41-second blurb of "And Nothing Is Forever" that popped out yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, and I think there was one at the end that had "I Can Never Say Goodbye" too. It's like a 20-second one of an instrumental floating around out there too, like just a little piano part or something. I think it.
Yeah, that one I saw.
Yeah, I was like thinking I shouldn't listen to it at this point because I didn't want to spoil anymore, but I probably won't be able to hold out. So, what do you think? Thumbs up? Is it sounding good? They didn't put like a disco beat behind it or anything, did they? It's sounding good.
Nope. No disco beat.
Good. So, I think we're pretty safe with these now. I don't know what to jinx it or anything, but I feel like all these are gonna sound fucking great, and compared to the live versions, we won't be disappointed or anything. So.
And some of the reviews are coming out.
Yeah, I haven't read any of them too, kind of on purpose. But like the Guardian gave them like a 5-star, I think 4 out of 5.
There was another one I saw that gave them I don't know how many stars it was that they run, but it was all of them.
Yeah.
So
I was just like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I read one. I read one, and it gave kudos to Robert Smith for his impeccable piano playing. I'm like,
what was
what the?
That was great. I think it was the NME one or something. It was a really early one. Yeah, it was really weird. I was reading that too, and I was like, what the fuck?
Do you not have an editor?
They mentioned it 3 times too. They're all like, he's really improved as a piano player, which was weird because that song still just has like the little it's not like anything. Was it a Fragile Thing, right? Or was it for Alone?
I think it was the whole album. It was the whole album. It was a review of the whole album and how his impeccable piano playing is just, it's grown so much over the years. I'm like, get your head out of your asses. Come on.
That was so weird. Like I said, you'd think somebody in there would have been like, oh, whoop, hold on a second, and, but that was funny. That did catch my eye too. And I think the Uncut magazine I saw gave it like 9 out of 10 stars. So it's pretty awesome. It's getting like not only decent reviews, but like really knocking it out of the park. Cure. So I think everyone's pumped, even halfway fans, so even people that don't even know that Robert doesn't play piano on the on the album.
And part of me hoping that it's not like a nostalgic thing or like just hype from the last tour, but I'm just kind of like, I'm hoping that it's like genuine and like people are able to see it if it was like bad or not. Like if like the 2008 album, they were just like, this is dog shit. It was great that you tour, but this is dog shit.
Yeah, so, it's like legit respect, and it's not like giving the old dude at the Oscars his Oscar finally because he's about to die or whatever,
you give Leonardo DiCaprio the Oscar for the shitty for the not great best movie he's ever done, and ignore him for his whole entire career up to then. So.
I mean, look, it took Ozzy Osbourne being like incoherent to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this weekend.
So there you go. Well, speaking of scenarios like that, maybe it's a good time to segue into Cure Hell, since it is Halloween after all, just around the corner. Not only is it a fun Cure time to pick some weird topic and make it spooky and talk about The Cure, but extra weird that it's all building up to, the actual release of the album and stuff. So it would be very easy to just toss the whole Halloween idea out the window, but we don't roll like that here on the Holy Hour. We want to delve into actual hell. Well, maybe not actual hell. So here's the premise of this assignment was that what would be your Cure hell? Like, this is just absolute hell to see your favorite band doing this thing or something happening to them. Of course, on the top, some sort of a peaceful death that would be like really awful. So we're not gonna get bogged down in like
not
real
dark
sad shit. Yeah. so we'll just throw that out the window. Of course, any kind of like awful, horrific crime would be terrible. So we're not gonna cancel Robert or anything either. So we'll try to keep it the fun kind of hell. I think that we all dream about it from time to time. So. And this also pairs up with Chaz's other podcast very well because he's actually doing the full history of hell. How many parts? 2 or 3?
Three.
Okay, 3 parts of hell. So if you really want to dive into it, make sure you go check out. The first one was really good, by the way, Chaz. Enjoy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we came up with this giant list of possible horrible scenarios for our beloved band. And this would be Cure Hell. So on the top, I guess I'll kick it off. And we'll read down the list and get you guys' ideas and let it stew a little bit. But I started off with just hearing Alone, the first song in 16 years, and but only for one day, because that was kind of my hell for a minute there when my power all went out. I enjoyed Alone, the first new song, and like an idiot, I didn't download it immediately to my phone. I'll just save it when the album comes. It'll be there. It'll be great. What could possibly happen? And then I couldn't listen to it for like
natural disaster happened.
2 solid weeks. We went to the hot spots there to send out all the messages that were alive and shit. I'm trying to like hit the download button and it's like going real slow. And Casey's like, we gotta get back. I'm like, hold on. It's like fucking Rogue One thing or something. I'm watching I'm like, no. But so yeah, that would suck if anybody else out there just heard that first song and then you couldn't hear it. I guess I elaborated more by saying dying after hearing Alone would really have sucked. So anybody
Jesus,
out there?
that got dark.
It's been a dark, weird month. So sorry in advance. But yeah, just dying before this album comes out at this point would be terrible. So I hope everybody could hang in there for about another week at this point. So a couple of days after this gets posted. Because, we've waited way too long for that. But, or like just knowing that it's official after you bought the album, or something. It's
coming. It's almost.
We get word that the meteor is coming to fucking end the planet or something. Like, oh, come on, man.
You go to click download that morning and it's it. The internet dies.
Yeah.
The internet just dies on
the
you.
internet. Yeah.
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 So they can't even deliver the vinyl.
Yeah. All the satellites fall from the sky.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fucking world's against us, I swear to God. Those Facebook groups would really blow up then, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
don't worry, because there's 3 other albums coming, I'm sure.
Yeah, one of them's going to make it there. Maybe that's the good backup plan. If you're like, well, if one of them doesn't get here for like 6 months at this point, because shipping is always kind of terrifying with this. I don't really know when the hell we're going to get any of the... I'm kind of just banking on the streaming popping up as soon as possible, and I'm just going to enjoy that until all the hard copies come in. But... Because, that would suck. Because, there's a few people out there that are all like, nope, I need to hear it on vinyl first, and I'm going to wait patiently. It's like, dude, you might be waiting for a while, so fuck that.
Robert just, at the last minute, shelves this album in favor of one of the other 3 that he has.
I like
in
the
pocket.
second album better. in that interview, he kind of almost slipped once and said the next album was better. I don't know if he was joking
Fuck
or
you.
what.
Fuck you.
He's like, the next one's great. It's more of a
Dude.
It's like, don't give me that shit again.
I wouldn't have been able to been in an interview. I would have been like, no, fuck this, dude. No, you can't do
We're
this,
finished.
man.
Turn off the mic.
Doing
Stop
this
the
to
interview.
They be pulling Chaz out of the room, and he's
No, we're on to
Pulling
you,
him out.
man. We're on to you.
stop breaking my heart.
What did you do with the real Robert?
I guess involving the streaming, the next Hell could be a scenario where you're hosting the listening party and the streaming hasn't come out yet. So
I know. Well, I have that happening.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I'm doing a Halloween party,
Yes.
and it's gonna be a Cure listening party at midnight. And I'm like,
Oh, boy.
watch this not pop up.
Because we don't know yet, right? They haven't said, are we doing British midnight? Are we doing, they haven't even said anything midnight, right? So we don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck.
That's when you just play your live version
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the
That record, you just keep playing those two songs over and over.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, bullshit, bullshit. They got torches and stuff.
Now, usually new releases on iTunes or Apple Music, they usually drop like East Coast time, midnight East Coast time. So I can sometimes listen to things at about 9 p.m.
Okay.
the day before the official release. That's usually when it pops up. But this has been with all of the odd releases, here's a Tuesday release. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a Friday release. Okay, cool. I mean, you don't know when the sucker's coming,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So like
could-
this one's gonna be on a Tuesday at 2:45 p.m. and 13 seconds.
Yeah, in the 13 seconds because Robert likes 13.
That's it.
So.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Because, it did say, like we were trying to size up before, it would be like one, British time would be earlier for us. So I don't know if that would be hooking us up too much, like in America, because we're getting it like at a reasonable, like earlier, I guess, right? So they would get
Well, we
it.
deserve it.
Yeah. Which,
Right?
we're all cool with, but yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But yeah,
Gotta
then
make
if
up
it's
the
even
rules.
later than it's us, then the British are getting it at a weird ass hour, like really early in the morning. So I don't know what would be the best way, but probably would just be East time.
They should have won.
We'll see. They got about 2 weeks to figure it out. So hopefully, so yeah, we don't know, and hopefully that won't be the case. So everyone doing the listening party will be a little more at ease when they hit play.
Well, you can at least grab several songs that were performed live. They're all on YouTube. You could put them in a playlist in the right order and just hit play and say, yeah, this is totally it.
Yeah, hopefully if anyone's
everybody.
hanging out by that point, they've got enough drinks in them. They're like, damn, this sounds a lot like the live shit. Play the singles.
Nah, it's just my speakers. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, actually, you should get the Atmos recording. It's the the broken up vinyl of the DVD. So yeah, the other one was kind of a joke at us with the if you flew to London for two small intimate shows and couldn't get in, that would be pure hell, right, Chaz?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Especially as you're walking all over London with a fucked up knee and
Yeah.
sleeping on the sidewalk there. Let me in.
Oh yeah. I don't have money to say anywhere. We didn't add that into the equation.
he's like, I'm gonna
yeah.
sleep in a rental car, and you're gonna get like a Mini Cooper. Like a little
Yep.
I can't even send this thing.
Yeah. Now both my knees are jacked up and my back.
Yeah. Then they let you in, and you have to watch a 3-hour show crammed in by the
Standing room only.
yes.
Yep.
Getting too old for this shit.
Yeah. That was a big fear of doing it if I was gonna do it. I know I've said that I went to New York City to see that Foo Fighters show with like less than 1,000 people, and like we had to do this thing where you had to stand in line to get the wristbands, and it was a shit show, and I initially didn't get tickets, so like everything was gone before I even got there, and I got there like 10 hours before they were going to get rid of them. And so then we ended up getting in on the guest list, but it was I drove like 3 hours to get there, and like I'd gone in like 2 hours sleep, and like I'm just like I'm waiting for my friend to get off of work to meet me there, and I'm just like, this is the worst. Like I'm not gonna get in. So I can't imagine flying all the way over there and doing that.
Yeah, so that could be like hell, pretty much. I think it's a good word for it.
Yeah.
So close.
Peeking in the window
that's what
as
it
they're
is,
playing. You're like hanging from the. Oh man, so close. So yeah, the list gets a little goofier here as we continue on. Just waiting 16 years in between albums is definitely a version of Cure fan hell, I think, which is, I guess they've had a lot to keep us, busy and happy with live shows and stuff. So I think there's only a couple stretches there. More in the earlier half of all that where I was like, I don't think they're gonna be around much longer. I think they're just gonna fade out here, and this is the end. But for the most part, I felt like during those 16 years, even we were fairly confident we would get something out of the Cure, if not another compilation or something.
I wasn't, man. Yeah. I thought that with the way 413 and the self-titled were received, I thought he would just be like, here's some reissues with some added bonus material. Enjoy our past catalog. And I was happy-ish with that.
Yeah.
I always wanted more. Yeah. And just being able to, just starting to hear new songs come out, just trickle out, and it just kind of got my hopes up a little bit. And I'm like, like Chaz was saying, don't break my heart. Don't break my heart again.
Well, that's the thing is just like, don't like, it would be completely fine if you played that card of like, we're just playing our old hits and we're going to do reissues and everything. But like, don't play those 2 new songs and then they never go anywhere. And like, it was just like, here it comes. Like, nope. or like 413. Yeah, I got a whole nother album. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like, I guess the darkest.
Here comes the documentary. Nope.
Yeah. The darkest time period for me was around when we started the podcast. Actually, it was kind of along those lines where I felt like there was nothing going on.
Yeah.
So it must have been like 2015 and stuff. Because around like 2016, when they did that mega tour, I guess I was just so confident that they sounded so good that there was no way they were going to just not do anything. You know what I mean? And then I guess having those 2 songs, because for a good chunk of time, we didn't know if there were leftovers or new songs or what, so it was kind of hopeful that they had those 2 new songs. But yeah, it was just like that kind of, I felt like was the main spark to bring them back into the excitement world of like, what's up, what's coming next, But I felt like for like at least 3 years around that time before it was just like fucking crickets. I think it was like we were getting those Robert like contribution songs or something, like very good advice and shit at best was like the best thing. I was like, that's cool. But so yeah. All right. So here's a hell version, funny scenario, maybe. The new album just really sucks. It somehow all the songs we haven't heard, he sings in the Club America voice. Yeah.
Oh God.
Just like, wow, how did he like just totally ruin the whole album? Like that. So I don't think that's very likely, but that would be kind of a version of hell, I think, of just somehow this whole album just shoots itself in the foot.
So I'm not alone in my hating of the Club America voice then, right?
Yeah, I think most people are.
That is my least favorite Cure song out of all of them. That song.
Yeah, because it could have.
I thought that was the motto for the podcast. We hate the Club America voice.
Really, like more than all of self-titled.
Yeah, man, that whole that
I mean,
that
it's
tone
not good, but
just great.
But
I'd rather have Screaming Robert over.
Oh man, I can't take the.
It's a good one,
Screaming Robert.
Yeah, I think I'd take Club America, but I don't know. Club America is almost like a decent song too, which is weird. But if it didn't I don't know. Yeah, nah, that's pretty bad.
Vocals are just
We're still
bad,
we're
man.
still disagreement there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it rocks. Yeah, dead horses moaning right now. So. But yeah, that would be. It is weird because he's dabbled with it before, but it's never been like the whole song, like in Club
Pervasive.
America.
It was pervasive in Club
Yeah,
American. It was just like Jesus. I'm right into my no, stop.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like the second song too, like right after one,
after such a banger,
like,
right? I mean, yeah.
So
God, you're pumped after hearing. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be great. And he starts that. And I'm like, oh God, no. So
very strange.
Anyway.
So yeah, I'm glad it's definitely a creditable version of Hell then. So let's see. I thought if the band dissolves and then they reform with like a bunch of complete little turd 20-year-olds or something, like he just kicked everybody out. Do you have like this whole like Hot Topics band or something like backing him up? Everyone would just be like, oh, you know, because he kind of had a little fear of that, like when the Simon mess went down. You know, it's like, well, if they do continue. You know, it's one thing if they had like Eden or something, that'd be cool. But like if they just grabbed like some boring dude from some other, you know, just it would definitely take the steam out. You know, you just feel like, what are we watching like a Robert Smith solo thing now or what? You know,
like Robert singing for Fall Out Boy or something.
Yeah. So that would hurt me at least. I don't know if you guys would agree.
This is something that, and I'm sure it happens in the I want to say secular world, but in the Christian music world, this is something that they do a lot, is where they'll have like the one or two core members of the band still in the band, and then they'll just bring in young talent to put behind them. And I can think of this band Petra, where in the 90s, the late
Petra,
90s, early 2000s, they had like one or two still older members and then a bunch of new guys.
That's right.
Like young guys right behind him. This one dude with like long hair over his face, and it's just like, and like meanwhile you got this dude that's like 65 in like tight jeans next to him, and it's just like, oh, this is gonna rock, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you always get a little taste of something like that when you see like solo artists playing with like session musicians, where they grabbed a few like session people. I remember a really obvious one as a kid was when Lisa Loeb was on like SNL or something, and I was watching it, and they just had like all these like old lame looking like session dudes backing her up, but they tried to put like cool like thrift store shirts on them and stuff. They just looked like they were playing dress up or something. And I was like, oh god, because like the Cure, if they had a bunch of kids in there, they would all like try to look. What does a Cure member look like? You know, so they'd all dress them up like in.
It's like Robert Smith and all the remaining members of One Direction.
Yeah. So,
God.
No.
Sorry, too soon.
Yeah. Did one of them die or something?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that like a big headline or something? No.
Yeah.
Shit.
He kind of took a spill off a balcony, drunk and high, and
All right. Well, told you this is the evil Halloween episode. We're getting dark here. So here's some more dark ones. This is a re-recording of all the old albums, Taylor Swift style, where this is Robert's version. So he's re-recording them for whatever reason, and we all have to buy it, of course, because we'd be like, what? You're re-recording Disintegration. Okay.
Synth pop style. Like,
I'm getting vibes of the acoustic album from this. This is,
is
that basically what they did?
Basically, yeah.
that's true.
And I had that under it too of re-recorded albums to do like a Starbucks acoustic version, which I guess they kind of did with the greatest hits, but more
like
than that.
like a
Or the
bossa nova version.
The MTV Live.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess the Taylor Swift version would be like she was doing that to get the ownership back and made them sound like exactly like the
right, because
right?
you don't
So
own
it's like,
because you don't own the songs, you own the recording. So if you just redo all the songs, it's like
But I mean, I feel like there's no way in hell, like even if he got all the top people on it and he was trying to re-record Disintegration, all of us nerds would be like, it sounds different, man. It sounds weird, you know. Like, I mean, I guess it's like what 30 some years later. She's probably doing an album
not
that's
just
4 years old. But.
The only band that I know that did it that like I thoroughly enjoyed it was Thrice. Thrice re-recorded "Artist in the Ambulance," like one of their records. They recorded it over again, and it sounded amazing, but
different or like
it did sound a little different, you know, just because the audio was so different, and then what they also did just to jazz it up was like they had some different people from different bands do like quick little guest vocals on each song too. But they redid it because there was issues with their record label at the time, and they were like, well, we've grown as musicians, like let's just let's just go back and redo these and put it out ourselves,
and I guess there are bands like if you re-record, like if you're a band that really signed young, like when you were, and kind of like what The Cure did for the New Voice mix of Boys Don't Cry, like if they re-recorded Three Imaginary Boys, that might be kind of cool, really, because they would sound a lot like better and more like them, I mean, it would sound completely different unless they're just trying to mimic how they used to sound or whatever. But yeah, so it is weird because I've heard things like that too, where it's like some artist that was like 16 or something, and they just put out a really crappy home recorded version of the first album, then they re-record it when they're later, and could work. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that would suck because then we'd have to rebuy all the albums again too if Robert like re-recorded them.
Unless true hell happens and they re-record all of the albums, but they're all produced by Ross Robinson.
Yeah,
every album from it's the Ross Robinson version.
Yeah, this is like Gozer coming through the fucking.
I was gonna say they re-record Disintegration as a third wave ska album.
Yeah, so if they totally change the direction or something too, which are the next couple of topics in here, they go. So yeah, right on the list, Ross Robinson produces just one other record would have been hell for me, like a new record. But I like the idea of he's recording all their
all of them,
every
start to finish.
Yeah.
So, which was reassuring.
Yelling at Jason
from that interview. He does list and mention that the self-titled album at this point is his least favorite Cure album, so that was kind of reassuring to hear him say it.
Yeah, I know that was pretty. I was like,
he's like, he just says it didn't work, which I'm like, good job.
Yeah, that's it.
We're like, we could have told you that.
Yeah. I definitely recall a lot of interviews where he was saying it was the best Cure album ever, but so,
where do you want to start with the artwork or?
Who knows?
I just remember being so happy that there was a new Cure album, and I'm so excited. And I'm listening to it, and Lost is like rough, and I'm like, his voice breaks in this. This is really strange. Okay, but then every song, it just got progressively worse.
Still Lost.
Until you got to Taking Off, which is like, okay, so this is just like Heaven version 2. It's got the same chord progression. It's got almost the same guitar solo. Okay, and man. That
one definitely. So it was good that he acknowledged that it had some issues, and I guess that reassures us that he won't bring Ross back to re-record every album or work with again. Hopefully not anytime soon.
Maybe that's why Simon quit temporarily. Robert just happened to say, Ross is available, and Simon's like,
no,
betrayal. I'm not dealing with that cycle.
You promised you would never. Tired of the lies.
Betrayal.
So along those lines, then I also had on the list the self-titled album. It's the anniversary, and they're doing a tour where they're playing the self-titled album start to finish, and we all have to
I wouldn't go.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm saving some money tonight.
We'll see what
they could be
happens.
playing down the street from me, and I probably wouldn't go. Like I don't.
I think I would.
I think I would purposely go to a
seats
bar with a digital jukebox and just pump like $100 worth of like good Cure songs into the jukebox and just be like, guess what, everybody? This is what you have to listen to.
Unless I'm getting an encore, I'm not going. Like,
just show up late and watch the encore.
It's so rare for us to get a show anywhere near us that if they were down the street, I don't give a shit. I'd still go just because they're there. They played once, about 30 minutes from here. They played once in 2005, and Duran Duran opened for them, and it was incredible. Wow. But it'll never happen again. They're not coming to San Bernardino again.
No,
Nobody should.
I'm getting that vibe with Charlotte, even though our whole state, I think, has been blacklisted now. So. Oh well. So that would be pretty painful. And then I threw this little added part in for you guys. They do another trilogy show, and it's the top self-titled and 413. So
I've thought about this before.
Have fun with that, guys.
This has gone through my head before of like, what could be the worst possible like trilogy that they could put together?
I'd still be down with this, but it'd be little not at the top of my list of 3 albums to do, but I think it'd be fine.
Like, I could take a really extended pee break during the self-titled version and come back, and I've never heard them play a single 413 song live, so I missed them on that tour. So you know, I like some of the top, so I'll take some of the top and 413.
And I bet I would actually like the songs better.
Yeah, definitely the top ones you guys would be done with live, I think. But.
Well, Simon would be like, I'm not playing these songs, though.
Yeah.
Eden, get out here.
He's like, I'm going to be riding my bike during this one. I'll come back in afterwards.
So wait a minute, you're gonna play the album that I didn't even play on, and then you're gonna make me play these shitty songs. I'll be back for 413. Eden, you take over.
He's like, but Hungry Ghost. He's like, oh, okay, because he loves Hungry Ghost. Apparently, it's like his jam. So.
All right,
so I'm only doing this for Hungry Ghost. Awesome. This one, we'll jump ahead here for this one. Chaz had touched on this one. If they stretched too far in a new direction for a new album, where they put out like a very new metal sounding album, or he decided he wanted to try maybe rapping in the middle of a song, just
to rap, Robert.
just really fuck it up with a rap in the middle, or they just got like
early 90s.
Yeah, or just got super cheesy, like adult contemporary sounding or something. Like he put out his Sting album or something where he's all like playing his every song.
Kenny G doing all the solos.
Yeah, some smooth sax solos, and Robert's playing like a 12-string classical guitar for everything. I don't know, but so.
the patchouli just comes through. You can just smell it. Like
it's like a world album or something. I was like, I don't know, man. It's just not hitting.
What if we get a double cover album of 311 and The Cure just covering each other's songs?
That would definitely be a strong contender.
Can you imagine
Hell.
A Cure down?
I can't even tell you how much I hate
311.
That's so funny you mentioned that. We were walking around. It was just Henson and I while Casey was working down here, and we walked past some like little, Key West restaurants, all like just playing their Highland jams, or they were playing that 311 love song one. He's like, love song. And he just got this look on his face. He's like, what is this? What? He's like, what are they? What? And I was like, keep walking. I was like, I hid this from you for a reason, son. It's like, just cover your ears, son. Just cover your ears.
You just have to hold him back. He's just jumping over tables and throwing shit.
You never told me about this.
How dare you?
What is this?
I turned into a Tim Robinson sketch.
I saw 311 open in 1994. I saw him open for Oingo Boingo, and the moment they took the stage, I'm like, oh no, and and then later on, whenever they did the love song, I'm just stop.
Wow.
Well, that's like I went to a 311 show only because I got comped tickets from our management company to see De La Soul open, and then I left after De La Soul.
Yeah.
Smart.
And I was like, I'm out. Everyone's like, where are you going? I was like, I can't see De La Soul. Fuck 311.
Seriously.
You stuck around for Down and then you bounced.
Yeah, I smoked a blunt. I braided my hair.
Hell yeah, brother. Talked about Omaha, Nebraska.
Nice.
Awful.
All right, so this one, I know probably people would disagree with this one, but for me, a strong cure hell would be if they put out a Christmas album.
100%.
You bite your tongue.
I hate Christmas albums, but
No,
if anyone could do it, I know he loves Christmas, so he's probably a blast to hang out with on Christmas morning too. But
Robert doing a cover of "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is all I need now. I mean,
yeah.
I want to hear him doing Santa Baby.
Yeah, in the Club America voice.
Oh god!
or that Andy Williams song of like Hickory Dick and Hickory Dock, and won't you come? Yeah. That song.
Wait,
yeah,
that's
that one.
not
That would change the lyrics too. Yeah. I'm not a big Christmas fan, so I'm biased in this one.
Yeah.
There's only like one Christmas album I'll play in my house, and it's like Elvis Presley. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and then everything else, I want to stab my ears.
The Muppets one's pretty
You should
good.
check out the Billy Idol.
Yeah,
the Billy Idol
yeah,
Christmas album is actually pretty good.
Oh, really?
Really?
I fuck with Billy Idol hard. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I do,
but
and some Frank Sinatra I can do also.
Yeah.
This seems like a move. Like I hate the Christmas album move that bands and artists do. That's the thing that I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Like it's so just like on the nose with like what these people do, like when they get older and could run out of material, they put out a Christmas album.
Yeah, because it usually is like right after their like second biggest album, like they're on like the rise, and they're like, shit, just I don't know, put out a Christmas album, keep the train rolling, you know.
Yeah, everyone wants to strike that Mariah Carey gold, where like she makes all of her money in November and December.
Yeah, but then you also have those artists that all they do are Christmas albums now. Like at the end of like every so often there's like another Christmas album by them.
Michael
I know like
Bublé.
Amy Grant. Yeah, Michael Bublé. Amy Grant does that. She was like
Grant.
6. And it's just like okay, another Christmas album. It's just like, oh my god.
Okay,
there's
now,
5 Christmas songs. Like you just stop.
I love Christmas. Complete opposite. Between Halloween, from my birthday leading into Halloween, leading into Christmas, that 3-month period right there, my house is decked out in either some spooky shit or I've got bright lights everywhere. So I am the old man that goes out and staples all of the I Chevy chase the shit out of my house. And I Griswold this shit, right? I love Christmas, and I actually sought out the Merry Christmas Everybody that that they did, the Wizard cover that they did, and it's awful, but I love it, because it's Robert Smith doing Christmas. So overall, I wouldn't be upset by it, but I'm sure it would be a train wreck from beginning to end.
Right. Especially now, it would be a really weird move when they haven't put out much.
You just scraps a new album for a Christmas album.
Yeah, I'd be like, what? Like if they put that out before this album or something, or it's like, we waited 15 years for a Christmas album. What the fuck? Fair enough.
I just imagine White Christmas with that heavily distorted electric guitar that he does. It's like, okay, all right,
maybe. If anyone could make it cool, I would have all the faith in the world that they're the band to do it. But I still
better than a Coldplay album.
Yeah, exactly. Still better than a Coldplay.
The self-title is still better than the Coldplay album. So
exactly. This one's kind of maybe nerdy nitpicking, but I thought reissuing the album in the way. I'm cool that they're doing it, but these New Order ones, the double deluxe definitive version, the super ultra, I'm very serious now, ultimate expanded version of the album. It's
like Blade Runner. It's like, which freaking version of Blade Runner am I supposed to watch? There's 17 of them, It's
But at least those are entertaining.
True. And the New Order albums are like, it's still a great album. So yeah, sure, give me the 58 track version. But haven't we covered this? I think.
Don't you get bored after a while? Like, I just want to hear the songs. Like, I don't need to hear with the Cure stuff. Like, I'll listen to like the demo stuff like every once in a while.
Yeah.
But like after I listen to like the first run through, I'm kind of done with it and just
You're
want to
good.
listen to the regular songs. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't need this deluxe super ultra edition bullshit. Like, I didn't mind what they did before. Yeah, what they did before with the like back in the 2000 what years was it, 2010 or so when they started doing the reissues of like the albums on CDs and everything. I thought that was kind of cool.
The
But
Cure
like
ones?
but it's nothing like
those are all necessary.
what like New Order is doing.
Yeah.
And like the Pixies were doing it for a while too with some weird shit.
Because I bought all the New Order ones in the early 2000s around the same time as the Cure one, all the kind of just fat double CD ones, and they're perfect. They got all the beat sides, they got the demos and shit, and they started just putting those ones on, I guess you could buy them on like CD and they have like 40 vinyl probably. But it's like, half of it's just like, this is it without one less keyboard or something. I'm like, I can't even hear a fucking difference between this version and this one. I was like, what are you?
You get the Vanilla Ice thing, but this one goes din 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 din.
Ding.
It seems like a cash grab more than anything of like collectors, because people love collecting New Order, and like it's just like it's somebody will throw down $80 on a reissue.
We all waited so long for the Wish reissue, right? And all the bonus material that came up. I listened to it once all the way through, and I'm like, I haven't touched it since. It's there. I have it, which is great, but I don't. It's not a go-to. And it's the same with Susie and the Banshees. Susie and the Banshees did the same thing. Double album reissues of Superstition and Peekaboo and all those. I listened to them once. I'm like, I don't even want this, but it exists. So.
Just knowing that you have it, it's more comforting. Just to know that it's not floating in some weird purgatory of.
That's why I had to order the 3-disc version of the CD, because I knew that if it existed and I didn't have it, I was just going to be like, damn it, I missed out. It's a collector mentality, man. Got brain damaged.
Let's see what else is on the list here for Hell. They announce a final show, but it's headlining like some big festival like Bonnaroo or something. So
maybe so
like Burning Man.
Burning Man. You're just like,
I'd be Jesus in the temple and just flipping shit.
Yeah.
I would be so mad.
Oh man.
It's like, this is definitely, I mean, at least there'd be some like silver lining of like, it's probably not the last show. Even if they said this is the last show we're ever gonna play, I'd be like, I'll take my chances. But that would suck, because then you're just
that
like,
would be awful.
Fuck, I gotta.
The people you'd be surrounded by.
Yeah.
just seeing them at Daydream Festival at the Rose Bowl, and they were great. The lineup was great, but I am too fucking old for festivals anymore. It's just I hit that 50 plateau, man. I'm the idea of a festival is awful.
Yeah.
I know. I have to do it still for work, and it's getting harder and harder every time I fucking do it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
As I leave for one on Thursday.
Do they at least hook you up with like a cool VIP balcony thing or something?
I mean,
you can
like,
hang
but
from?
even VIP access sometimes it still does not make it
Worth it.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form.
Sure.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl in June. It's hot. It's California is just hot, and you put that many sweaty people. We bought the VIP access to their air-conditioned lounge, and you crammed that many people into an air-conditioned lounge, and it's no longer
air-conditioned. Yeah,
it's just
absorbing
stinky.
it. Yeah,
it's hot
that
and
many
smelly.
goth people. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. How many layers of black do you need? It's 100 degrees outside. So
yeah, I mean it was like 95 in Vegas at that festival I was just at.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It was
No, thank you.
But I mean,
that's good for Vegas in this time of year. That's actually good.
And it's and without the humidity. I mean, humidity. You give me 80 and humid in New York, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to punch people?
Yeah.
I guess this one breaks away here, but this one's for Chaz. What if Robert just found Jesus and put out a good Christian rock album, a good wholesome, or re-recorded all the old songs that like just like Heaven and stuff, and
he's doing Christian standards.
Yeah,
no man,
maybe a double album.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, just a praise and worship album.
Yeah.
I as soon as I saw this, I mentioned it in the group chat. I was like, "Fuck you, Gavin."
I know. I was like, "No, I can't get it out of my head." I was like, "Well, the upstairs room."
Everything's just redirected in a really non-subtle way.
Then one of you guys mentioned that Faith would be kind of like that, and I'm like, well, that's more of like a Catholic album. You got to get some kind of like evangelical Christian type of album.
But there's still,
absolute crazy bullshit.
Yes, but the word faith is not just about religion.
Yeah,
it just gets used. Like if you say like, oh, you got to take a leap of faith about, you can say that about anything, about trying a new food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just means believing in something you can't see, right? Like, so, gotta have faith.
Oh God. The Cure recording old 80s classic just pop songs.
Yeah, they're all covers.
Madonna and George Michael and
that's it.
Yo, I think they would kill just like a virgin. I'm just saying.
Just like a
virgin.
I think they would slay that song.
They really need a new manager, I think. But new direction after Songs of a Lost World just really went weird. A bad like biopic movie, I guess. If they somehow it was good, I guess that would be all right. But I guess a lot of those aren't. So I think that would hurt a little bit, like watching like a really bad movie.
Yeah. There's been a rash of bad ones lately. Like the Bob Marley one was terrible, and
I haven't seen that one yet.
I didn't hear anything about that.
The Amy Winehouse one was dog shit, from what I heard.
Yeah,
so
I watched the Joy Division one. That one just that one just tore me up, man. That was
that one's good.
Control.
That was
I haven't seen that yet.
God, man, it's rough
at all. Yeah, I'm like.
What We Do in Secret was pretty good. The one about the germs, Darby Crash. That was so good. They reformed and went out on tour with him as the lead singer, the guy that played Darby Crash.
Wow.
Movie. So like there's that Control one was amazing. So like it can happen, but like, would you guys rather have somebody that looked like Robert Smith but couldn't act well, or somebody that looked nothing like him and they made him like dress up like that, but like was an amazing actor, like let's say Joaquin Phoenix, like, but he didn't look anything like him?
I'd go for that. I think I'd rather have a well done film with somebody who is at least embodies the spirit of Robert over somebody that looks just like him. And are we going full on Bohemian Rhapsody style where he's lip syncing to all the songs, or are we looking for somebody who can actually carry the tune?
That's the thing. Like with the biopic movies, like you kind of want that person that's playing that role to be able to do those things.
Yeah.
So like you had in Walk the Line, like I said, Joaquin Phoenix, like he sang and played guitar. You had Jamie Foxx and Ray singing.
The Elvis Presley movie.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't see that one, but that one I heard was was a Baz Luhrmann one.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. That one was like crazy. But like, there's ways you can do it, but you kind of have to choose those. Whether you want, because like there's ones like the Bob Marley one. The guy, they pick somebody that they look nothing like him and it was a terrible actor, so it's just like you swung and missed on both of them. So that's the bad biop one. Where you'd go with both.
Well,
of those,
if you're doing the majority of Cure, you could probably make anyone look pretty close. You know, just put a ton of makeup and hair on it and stuff. You know, so if the dude's a good actor, then you could, maybe not Sean Penn, but
if you follow some of those cosplay people online that do the face painting and stuff like that, you can make anybody look like anyone with the right amount of makeup, you know? So, but if you get somebody that had the chops, that had the acting chops to pull off the emotions that are there, you know, I think that would be the way to go.
Yeah. It'd just be
don't cast, who were you saying earlier? It was, the actor, the Titanic. What the hell's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. Don't cast Leo DiCaprio to play Robert. Right.
Well, it goes back to your Sarlacc topics. A lot of times, it can't be anybody recognized from somewhere else. It would almost have to be like some unknown. You know, like if you just see anybody, you're like, that's that fucking dude from. You know, like it would just totally. And I think that's always the threat with those kind of movies in particular. You know, if you just associate them with anything else, you're never going to believe that they're another famous person. It's already a bit of a use your imagination a little harder than you need to, but I don't know. I kind of feel like all those movies end up being so cheesy and shitty, you know, or it's just like it's very hard to like those. I think, especially if you care about them. You know, if I don't care,
check out Control though, man. Because
Control, I like that one.
Yeah,
that's
one of the better ones. Yeah,
it was Anton Corbin and stuff too. So that's everything just looked great. Yeah, so it didn't even. Yeah. That guy was awesome though. He played him great, but so it's possible, but that would be kind of hellish if it was just like this finally a cure movie and then like it's just awful, you know, like worst casting, terrible movie. You get all the facts wrong. You're just squirming in the seat, going, "Oh God, no, don't."
We all know so much about it already. You know, it's anything they got wrong would just be torn apart.
Yeah, be like, what the hell? Why didn't they consult us?
Yeah. No, but it is true. Like the worst. I can't imagine being in love with a band and like somebody's making a movie about your favorite band and you go to see it and it's absolutely dog shit.
Yeah.
And like they get everything wrong and like the music is bad and like everything is terrible and it's just like, oh, this is what I get, you know. So I could see that.
Well, I guess we can phase out of the hell syndrome there. We, you know, I had a couple of ones of just like meeting Robert and it going horribly wrong would be a version of hell. But at this point, that would be funny too. Even if he's like, your podcast is complete shit. You know, that would be kind of funny, actually.
That's who we are.
Exactly. I'd be like, sweet, you've heard it.
No, I'd be like, and so does the self-titled.
Yeah. I guess it would
he's like, I know.
Yeah.
And then you're friends after that, and you go share have a pint.
So that's all good. So not too much on top of that one, but let's start phasing it out here. And since this is the last episode before the new album comes out, any final thoughts then before we go into what you're anticipating, or just? I don't know. I think it's just been quite a build-up. But anything on you guys' mind, concerns, or just excitement levels?
I'm just incredibly horny for the first.
Yeah. It's a lot of foreplay going on here, isn't there? It's been a wild month, I can tell you that.
I gotta say, I don't remember the last time an album received this kind of press, this kind of, working in marketing. Seeing this kind of a marketing ploy, right, for a band coming out with an album, you don't see it on this level, really. I mean, with the guerrilla style tactics of, all of a sudden, boom, here's a poster. What does it mean? Then people are getting the postcards. What does it mean? And then there's the Blackpool video, which is so out of character for them, but so very cool, very, very hip and fresh, right? Yeah, I sound like an old man. It's very hip and fresh.
It is. It's just cool that they cared to even at this point, like take that extra, put these little teasers out. Because it's funny now, even looking back only a month, like the postcards didn't really mean anything, like a lot of it is just it's just cool. They're just kicking the hornet's nest a little bit,
But I mean, we've had a steady supply of something fresh to look at, to listen to for the last 3-4 weeks. It's been nonstop. And fucking love it. It's just
and even even to mention like
anticipation.
something we forgot to mention is the fact that like not just the Ticketmaster thing he did last year, but fighting dice about the small show. Like anybody that put them up for secondhand sale, they took the tickets away, refunded them,
Yeah, he was
and
really
then put
on
them
it.
back into the pool of people waiting
Yeah.
for tickets. Like he's
Yeah.
continuing to fight the pre-sale and the bullshit, and
Yeah.
if more fucking people stood up, more musicians stood up and did this, like, the fans and the people would get some of the fucking, their freedom back, and we'd stop getting raped so bad by Ticketmaster and all these places,
For sure.
so I think their marketing was fantastic. I think the interview was amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the most genuine Robert Smith we have gotten in an interview
Ever.
in his
Yeah.
career. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I don't think we've ever got anything that long,
well,
like, so it's just
the
so cool to
longest,
hear.
the most like just open and honest, like less of the just I'm gonna say something silly that you can tell I'm gonna contradict later and say something different later. Like it was
Yeah.
it was different. It was very
Down
different.
to earth.
Yeah.
Down to
Yeah.
earth. It
Yeah.
was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and all of it adds to this album that, we're all been dying for, even before we heard any snippets or singles, and now it's just build up even more.
It's happening.
Yeah, it just seems like, if anything, the bar has been raised so much higher now. I just went into all this going like, yeah, whatever it is, it'll be cool, but now I'm kind of like, this is going to be up there with all the greats. It's going to be so good. So,
There's only 8 songs, so fuck it.
yeah, fuck it. I don't care how good they are. Totally. But so yeah, I guess on top of that, we'll definitely, like Chaz was saying in his snippet he sent in for the last one, I think we are gonna we'll do an overview of the whole album. And then I want to do an episode all of listener contributions of people sending in what they think their initial reaction is, and write-ins and all that. And we'll read it and digest other people's thoughts. And then let's do fucking each song one at a time. It'll be a lot of redundancy, but fuck it. That's what, we're milking this thing. Let's do each song, maybe all the way through. And, it's only 8 of them. So it'd be great to. So
then we're going to compare the sound on each one of the different vinyls.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that'll
the
come
different
up,
mixes. And, yeah.
So a lot of that going on for sure, and so there'll be plenty on the horizon.
And then I cannot wait to see the next submissions for the Cure tattoos to see how many people got the rock face tattoo. Let's go.
For sure. Everywhere I look now and I'm seeing rocks, I'm just like, kind of looks like the Cure rock thing, It's like we're fishing on some rocks
just
today.
A rock, Gavin.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
just a rock.
I could do a little Photoshop and make that look like. So awesome. Well, we'll wrap it up there, and I'm gonna, in the end credits here, list out all the listening parties that I'm catching wind of. There's been a few out there, and I'm sure I'm missing a ton, but we'll list it out for you. So stay tuned for listening party info and any other final credits here for the show. But I'll wrap up just by saying thanks, Scott, so much for joining us this evening and living
Thanks for having me. This is great.
this hell with us.
Happy hell.
Yeah, happy hell, Dad. Happy Halloween out there. It's going to be extra awesome for everyone, I think, because it is the Cure and Halloween all wrapped up in one, which we didn't think was going to be possible ever, but they're doing it.
I don't think we're actually like putting that in context either, that it's being released like as close as the Halloween as possible.
Yeah, totally. So how cool is that?
Best day ever.
It's been one of those ones we've been saying forever, but I don't think anybody actually think it would happen. It was like, wouldn't it be cool if they put it out on Halloween or Christmas Day? It's like,
well,
oh shit, they actually did
completely. My Halloween is a complete night, and my listening party is going to be a complete nod to Scott, because I am going to be Balin Skull for Halloween, but I'm going to be playing a goth night where I'm playing Cure stuff on Halloween into the Cure album.
That's
Excellent.
awesome.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do that Balin skull too. That's actually why I've got the beard. I was gonna go for it, but I ran out of time, so I just threw my Boba Fett armor on again. But
Yeah, and then
dude, I want
you know,
pictures.
with it being like Halloween and like I have to DJ an event and it hasn't quite got that cold here and all this stuff. I got like a pretty basic that I can then go and add and get like actual like leather stuff for as I build the costume per se. But I was like, oh, gray beard, sign me up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Right on, man.
Yeah,
I need
you
to see all
definitely-
the photos. That's awesome.
Yeah, get lots of pictures for us. So I can-
Definitely.
Very cool. Any Halloween plans, Chaz?
I have to work that night, so I'll be at work until about like 8 or 9, and then I'll be coming home. But yeah, I'll be hanging out with dogs.
There you go.
So, and then my listening party will probably be me naked out on my trampoline, laying down and listening to.
Yeah, we've been hearing about
Anybody
this.
like to join me?
Live stream.
Okay, I
that
don't want
shit.
photos of that.
Awesome.
Can you at least put a Phillies hat over your cash and prizes?
I'll be wearing a Phillies hat. I just don't know where I'll be.
Excellent. Well, whatever anyone out there chooses to do on Halloween or while they're listening to the Cure album for the first time, I hope everyone's safe and enjoys it. It does something creative and really digs in. So can't wait to hear the stories. So we'll wrap on that note. And thank you, fellas. And thank you guys out there for listening. Talk hard.
Keep it nerdy.
All right, again, a very big special thank you to Scott for joining Chaz and Antonio and myself. Always a pleasure having Scott on the show and catching up with him. And before we launch into praise for our other Patreon crew, let's go ahead and list some listening parties for Songs of a Lost World that are coming up just around the corner on release night. Let's go see our buddy Antonio as Balin Skull at Ruby Soho's Tacos and Tequila. That's at 111 North Wellwood Avenue in Lindenhurst, New York. They'll be blasting Cure jams deep into Halloween night, so go on out and see Antonio in person. And as soon as that new record drops, whenever the hell it pops up on streaming, you can count on our boy to play it loud and proud over at Ruby Soho's. And if you're in New York but you want to stick around the Brooklyn area, looks like Syntheside is presenting a Songs of the Lost World listening party at Selva, which is located at 1329 Willoughby Avenue in Brooklyn. And that's in collaboration with good old Arusha. So go over and say hey for us and check out. The whole crew is bound to be there. And they'll be featuring DJ performances from Andy, Frankie Teardrop, and Mona, spinning all your favorite goth and post-punk jams. This one's also on Halloween, the 31st, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. The flyer says $10 and is 21 and older. If you are in Tennessee and you want to go party down and listen to Songs of a Lost World out in the wild, Ben Wilkinson is hosting a Cure listening party at the Crying Cat Records and Books on November 1st. So this one's on November 1st, 5 to 7 p.m. in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And he says they're going to have some Cure Fun themed freebies, refreshments, cool decor, good vibes, and a Songs of the Lost World photo selfie booth, a free Cure themed fanzine that he's also making to commemorate the new album, and it's going to have some damn good company. So go over to the Crying Cat Records and Books in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's about 40 minutes from Nashville, so if you're in that area, don't miss out. Would love to be there for that one. So party down for me. And if you're on the West Coast, don't worry, you're not out of luck too, because Andy, the Cure fan, has got you covered, and he'll be hosting a Cure listening party at Club Underground, and that's in the Grand Star Jazz Club, located at 943 North Broadway in Los Angeles, from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Again, this is on November 1st as well. and hosted by Andy. He'll have DJ Larry G there and DJ Liz O, and 2 dance floors worth of dancing and a patio even. And there'll be giveaways of the new album and a live concert DVD recorded from the night before on Halloween. So go check out that one. That one's 21 and older too. You can check out their webpage, clubundergroundla.com. And if you're in Spain, I got a few locations, cities, and venues that are also hosting parties. This is courtesy of Hispa Cure fan page there. I just snagged it off of a post there. But if you're in Valencia on 10/31, Django Q is having a party. If you're in Madrid on November 2nd, Basement Club is where you need to be. And Granada, you could go on the 8th of November, so a good chunk of days after release date, at Rudio Rosa. And Malaga on November 9th at the Velvet Club. So sure, there's a lot more out there, so keep your eyes peeled on social media. If there's something that might be a little closer to you, I'm also going to list all these out on our Facebook page if you missed anything of what I was saying. Let's bring this thing home with a big shout out to our Patreon. We got Donna, Craig, Jeff Hilton, Jeff Cortland Jones, Sue, Ben, John, Alan, Bunny Lake, Allison, Dion, Namicio, Matt, Danny, Coulter, Matt Ford, Tom Johnson, Tom Burns, Letty, John Roberts, Francisco, Jason, Amber, Nicholas, Arno, Chad, Shirley, Jason Hall, Tony, and of course Scott Kruger, who we spoke with on this episode. So check out his wonderful podcast, The Sarlacc Digest. It's an all Star Wars podcast, and it airs every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube and Facebook. You can catch it on there too. Kate over at CureThreads.com and Cure Arts Collab on Instagram is doing all kinds of wonderful stuff through October. So we got a few more dates left of this Cure-tober event that is going on each day. Cure fans have been posting artwork inspired by lyrics of your favorite Cure songs. So go check it out and get in on the action for these last couple ones. You can check out the pinned post on her Instagram there to get the details. And also big news from Kate in the world of the reissued double vinyl version of Just Like Heaven, the tribute album that came out on American Laundromat Records. Kate has redesigned the cover to put it out on this lovely double vinyl, and it looks amazing. The pre-orders are up now, and if you go and use promo code CureThreads, you'll get 10% off on the record. And the artwork is so good, you're not going to want to just put it on your turntable. You're going to wear it on a t-shirt too. So go make sure you pick up yourself a t-shirt from CureThreads of the artwork that she has designed, because it's available over there. So great job, Kate. Really cool design, and I hope everybody go checks it out. Get that 10% off with promo code CureThreads. Dana is one of the lucky few going to London for the Troxy show. So we want to wish Dana a wonderful experience over there and hope she has a wonderful, safe time. Hopefully she can give us her thoughts on how the whole thing goes. And more importantly, she wants to remind you that the election is still coming up. As much as we all want to be distracted by this Cure album instead, it's important to make sure that you know that you're registered to vote. And if you're somehow still not sure, go to vote.gov, find out where you need to go, and don't sleep on it. Tim is part of New Waterloo, an independent hospitality development design management company that owns and operates hotels and restaurants all over the United States and beyond. So find their many locations at newwaterloo.com. Tanya would like to spread awareness on 988lifeline.org, a suicide and crisis hotline with over 200 call centers located all over the U.S., available 24/7, offering free and confidential support for people in distress with numerous prevention and crisis resources. So don't hesitate to reach out. Lisa recommends you visit Dickens in Calgary, Canada. If you want to catch a great live show or event, they've got bands, trivia nights, dance nights, and probably something pretty awesome going on for Halloween. Check the full listings at dickensyyc.com. Speaking of Halloween, you know Club Nevermore's doing something cool. Jessica recommends you go check out clubnevermore.com to see a list of their events coming up. They're located in Little Rock, Arkansas. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, Chaz has another podcast called The Excommunication Station, where he and Chrissy take on the Evangelical Church, and they are currently working on their Hell series, diving into what is the deal with hell. So go check it out everywhere you listen to podcasts. If you want to consider joining our Patreon like all of these fine people, you can go to patreon.com/theholyhourpodcast. We'd love to have you on board. And don't forget, we've also got an official merch shop over at Spring Tea, so you can find the link for all that anywhere on our YouTube page or Facebook page or Instagram in the bios there. You should be able to find the links. All right, and speaking of YouTube and Facebook, make sure you follow us over there so you don't miss any updates on the new episodes on Instagram page. You can always email me directly at gavinconnor@gmail.com. So much exciting Cure talk on the horizon. Next time that we speak or you hear us speak, we will all finally have this new Cure album in our ears and hopefully our hands too shortly after, or maybe on our t-shirts even that we ordered. We'll have an overall review coming up for you very soon and next, and we'll need to hear your thoughts too, so start thinking about that. I want to do the whole episode of your thoughts, so send it our way however long or short you want. And then we're going to start slowly picking this thing apart, like we said, more and more. So we'll see what happens. 16 years in the making. Have a perfect Halloween out there. Be safe. Have a blast at the BBC show or the Troxy if you're one of the luckiest people on earth. Otherwise, have fun watching that live stream. I know we will be. And let's do this. Bring us the songs of a lost world. Talk hard and happy Halloween.